Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Cruise Chat Live. Good to see everybody. It is Sunday, May 19th. Wow. We thought we might have to do this show inside because some thunderstorms were threatening, but at the moment, we've got no weather. So yay. How's everybody doing? Good to see you all. Good morning, Tam Lamb. I got Kurt, Sue, Mary, Aaron, and Becky. Hello, everybody. Oh, Becky, you're in San Diego. Stay classy out there, whatever you do. Just stay classy out there. Hey, folks, if you're new to the channel, I am Walter, your independent travel advisor. We handle all things cruise, luxury, land, and expedition. So if we can help you in any way with your travels, just reach out. Our services are 100% free. So we would love to help you. Just reach out. Where'sWalterTravel.com. And down in the links on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook, wherever you're watching, there should be some links down there, or just go to where'sWalterTravel.com. And of course, over on the TikTok side, you guys can simply join us by clicking my logo, and you'll find a link tree, or just go to where'sWalterTravel.com and reach out. Calvin is ready for the Utopia of the Seas. Oh man, that's going to be a great ship. I'll tell you what, my favorite bar on the from Royal Caribbean is one called the Bamboo Bar, which is on the Mariner of the Seas and a couple other of that Voyager class. Well, I got to tell you, they made the Pesky Parrot on the Utopia, which is a bigger version of that. Oh my God, I'm so excited for that. So yeah, I can't wait to see that. Folks, we encourage you, if you are new to the channel, to like, follow, share, do all that fun stuff that TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you're watching us from, knows that you like what we're doing, because we really enjoy this. Kurt, how's the heat? So Rebecca just said she doesn't know she's going to be able to do the show from outside much longer because she's going to melt.
It's not so much the heat as the humidity.
That's the humidity. Yes. Oh, my goodness gracious. So
I mean, I have a fan blowing directly on me.
Yeah. She's got the fan right on her. So we're going to have to get one of those misters. So she just gets blasted with the mist the whole show to keep her outside, because we can do the show inside. I really don't want to, though. Good morning, Cindy. Oh, Amber, you are so kind. Walter is great. He helped us get our Alaska cruise planned, booked, and paid. You are so kind. Thank you so much. We really do enjoy what we're doing. I mean, I hope it comes through. Yes, we do have, we're not perfect, but we try to do what we like. Rebecca, I'll take care of this one. Yeah.
I blocked it.
Yeah. So anyway, and then we just have to delete it. I always wonder why, we have to like take care of stuff like that. But anyway, there we go. Sorry, folks, little interruption there while we take care of somebody. You just have to mute the account after you block them. That gets rid of the comment. Yes. So, okay, now I'm off. Good morning, Mr. T. Oh my goodness, Mr. T is a fan. I love it. Thank you so much. Stephanie Jacoby, the best cruise port we have visited. Ooh, wow, that's a good question. Wow, to start the show off with a really good question. I'm going to throw it out to everybody else out there too. The best cruise port you have visited is a question from Stephanie over on TikTok. Ooh, boy. It's hard to top Alaska because Alaska is amazing.
But that's so different than the
Caribbean. It is very different, but the best cruise port we have visited. Well, I'm gonna, I got to say there was something about Skagway. It was like we did a helicopter tour and we did the train tour, which was a lot to do in one day, and that was amazing.
See, I'm going to have to go with Guadalupe.
I was going to say, of recent times, we just went to Guadalupe over the Christmas holidays on Oceania. It's got a special place in our heart because of this little show called Death in Paradise. It's on the BBC. We got to go. We didn't do an official tour, but we did get to go to a couple of the locations, including the police station. So yeah, that's going to have a special place in my heart. But in terms of the Caribbean, I do love visiting St. Thomas and St. Martin. Those are two lovely islands to visit. But if I'm going to pick one, I'm just going to go with Skagway just because of the memories of the helicopter tour and then doing that train on the same day. That was actually pretty doggone cool. Yeah. But Guadalupe's got a special place. Let's see. We've got I saw St. Thomas up there. Somebody here is saying Cabo. Good morning, Desiree. How are you? Good morning, Joe, Norma, Sue. Everybody is here. How is everybody doing? Oh, I love seeing everybody on Sunday morning. James wants to know if we've been on the Independence of the Seas and how did we like it? So not the Independence, but we were on Freedom, which is her sister. We had a lovely time. So the Voyager class was the first one. They had the promenade, they had the ice skating rink, they added the flow rider on the back, and then the Freedom is a bigger version of that. It's a lovely ship. You know, we've sent a lot of people on the Independence of the Seas, including some of our clients who went on the very first cruise on that. Like we've had multiple clients actually on that ship for multiple cruises and their very first cruise. I think she's a lovely ship. It's interesting. You know, when we first started cruising, she was the largest ship in the world, largest cruise ship in the world. And we saw her. We're like, oh my God, who's ever going to get on a ship that big? We were on the Caribbean Princess. And now it's like, oh, that's just a mid-sized ship. It's not even a big one anymore. No, she's still a big ship. But she's lovely. She's got a lot of things to do. And, you know, great shows. Of course, Nick Weir, if you haven't seen Nick Weir, who was the head of all entertainment for Royal Caribbean, just suddenly left this past week. But there are some great shows on there as well. So, yeah, I think Indy is a great ship to go on. So, oh, Desiree, thank you so much for the super sticker. You are so kind. Thank you so very much. I hope we meet up on a cruise ship one of these days. You've been one of our longtime fans, and we really do appreciate the support. We appreciate the support of everybody. Y'all have been with us for quite some time now. So thank you. Thank you. Desiree is going on a cruise to Bermuda July 5th. Awesome. Awesome. Love it. Joe's here. Douglas is here. No, Douglas loved Cabo. Nice. Rick May. Hey, Rick, how are you? Good morning. And Aaron over on YouTube is saying that his very first royal sailing was on Freedom and loved it. Good morning, Chris. How are you? Good morning. Macomia, I'm so sorry. I probably got that wrong. You're going to Belize and Honduras. Any excursion recommendation? That's where we did. What was it in Baden? Baden tours?
I think
Roatan.
so. Yeah, that was Honduras.
Yeah, so in
was
Roatan,
a zip line and kind of sloth / monkey sanctuary.
Yeah. We did an independent tour in Roatan. That was Baden tours, like Bodden is what I want to say. And we had a lovely time. It was like Rebecca said, we had a zip line adventure first, little rum punch. And then they took us to meet the monkeys and the sloth. And the monkeys was definitely interesting because you went inside the enclosure with them and they were just kind of jumping all over.
Little monkeys.
Yeah, little monkeys. So they were jumping all over. They were really trying to get at the water bottles. So it was kind of fun.
And if you have, do not wear jewelry, do not have any loose items because they will try and take them.
Yeah, they'll rip it right out of your ear. That would not be nice. Belize.
They're cute, though. They are cute. And they're nice.
So Belize, we've been to Belize City, but it's literally like a 1 hour tender to get from the ship to the shore and then about an hour back because, you know, it takes about 20 minutes or so to load up the tender. Then it's like a 40-minute ride in, a 40-minute ride back.
There's the other Belize stop that's more, I think the Norwegian built up.
It's the Norwegian one, yeah.
We didn't get off on that one because that's when I sprained my ankle.
Yeah, so if you're on a Norwegian ship, they have a different stop. But if you're doing Belize City, just understand that's like 2 hours of your day gone. So when we go to Belize City, we tend to just stay on the ship versus getting off there. If anybody else has recommendations for Belize or Honduras, please, that would be great. Bobby, can we give some information about a Disney Treasure cruise leaving out of Port Canaveral? I don't know what you want to know.
We would like to do that.
Yeah, the answer is yes, if you're thinking about it. So basically, the Disney Treasure, I believe, has a more cohesive theming than the Wish. So she's a sister to the Wish. The big difference is she's doing 7 nights versus the 4-3 of the Wish. And I like it's like I said, more of that cohesive theming. I do think that Aladdin and Jasmine in the main lobby is kind of weird. I mean, it sort of fits the theme. He did go find the treasure inside the Cave of Wonders. But I'm really excited for the Haunted Mansion Lounge, and I'm really excited for the Periscope Bar, which is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So, so Disney Treasure sailing, I want to say December of this year is when she sets sail. I desperately want to get on her for sure. Anybody else already booked on the Disney Treasure, or if you'd like some help? Bobby, if you want to reach out, we'd be more than happy to talk about like any specifics of the Disney Treasure and the sailings that she's going on and things like that. Disney has some of the most lovely cabins out there. They tend to have slightly larger cabins. They have the split bathroom design, which is lovely. So yeah, if anybody wants to talk about the Disney Treasure,
not every
cabin, but if you want to talk
them.
about the Disney Treasure, would absolutely welcome you to reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com, or you're watching on TikTok, you can click the logo and there's a link tree. Just go in that link tree, the very first link, it's contact us. But the way it works is super simple, folks. I just give you a call. We talk through things, and then either we start looking at cruises right away, or more often than not, Rebecca and I do some research to go find you some cruises. More often, Rebecca doing that research. She does an amazing job at researching. And then I do a follow-up call with you. Our services are 100% free. You do not pay us a dime for our services. We can handle everything from the cruise itself to flights, hotels, ground transportation, whatever. It'd be great. So yes, if we can help you, Bobby, absolutely. And thumbs up to the Treasure. Cannot wait. Norma wants to know if you can use onboard credit to pay for drinks. Can the OBC be used at Perfect Day at Coco Cay? Onboard credit is cash, so you can use that any way you want to use it.
Yeah, anytime you're paying with your cruise card, or if you're on a ship that's brought back the WOW bands, anytime you're paying with that, it will go against your onboard credit.
Yeah, and it's usually an automatic thing. Unless you tell them not to, unless you say, no, I want to use my credit card. But typically, like if you have $200 of onboard credit, they're going to start running that down first before they start charging you. It's usually an automatic thing. So, yeah. Oh, Douglas has a great question. Any recommendations what to do in Tortola? Yes, we have one really, really good one. If you like to snorkel, or you just like to go on a catamaran, a company called Curlew. You can look up the Daydream. That's the easy way to do it. The Daydream catamaran. If anybody's going to Tortola, which is the British Virgin Islands, Rebecca did an amazing snorkeling excursion on that, and I just went along for the ride. And they served a great lunch. Oh, it was fabulous. So look up Daydream catamaran in Tortola. It's the Curlew company. They also have a second catamaran called the Curlew. So yeah, highly recommend that in Tortola if you are going. So Nancy, you just arrived in Fort Lauderdale. Yes, awesome. And you're boarding tomorrow. Cannot wait. Yay, have a great time in Fort Lauderdale. It's a lovely place. Go to East Los Olas Boulevard and go hang out in the dining and shopping district. It's absolutely lovely over there. Or take a water taxi and go on around Fort Lauderdale. So James, you're welcome. You're going in November. Love it. James Rayfire, only 377 days till the Norwegian Aqua, but who's counting? Yay! I can't wait to get on the Aqua. We're going out May 31st.
That's 377
days. I know, till ours. I know. We're going out on the Aqua. It's a big group cruise. If anybody wants to join us, the one he's talking about, 377 days away. And of course, I didn't bring the graphic in, but we're going out on the Aqua May 31st to June 7th. If you book with us and you do the free at sea package, we're throwing in $100 of onboard credit. So yay! But who's counting? I can't wait. Emily, your Pinnacle cruise on Wonder of the Seas next week. Have an amazing time. Roger White, good morning. How are you? Emily likes Indy. She likes the Indy of the Seas, but Mariner is the favorite. It has a piece of your heart. You've done 5 times back-to-back on Mariner. You know, I'm going to say I agree with loving that class of ship, the Voyager class, which is what the Mariner is. That's a lovely size of ship. It does have the big Royal Promenade. It does have the ice skating rink. It does have the flow rider on top. It has lots of things going on. It was the original mega ship with that class of ship that introduced like the new mega ships of today. So I will agree with that. I will say that the Mariner of the Seas is an absolutely lovely ship, and that whole class is just an absolutely lovely class. I'm going to move this back just a little bit. There we go. All right. So let's see. We got more over here. Alex just got back from the MSC Meraviglia. Got to say they're a pretty good cruise line compared to the pre-cruise anticipation. As long as you go into MSC with your expectations set, you're going to have a fabulous time. The only thing that shoots MSC in the foot right now is the inconsistent service and the inconsistent food. If they can get consistency with hotel and food and beverage, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with here in the U.S. The price is certainly right. You can't argue with the price. Price is amazing. We can put you in their yacht club experience for the price of many other cruise line balconies. So, I mean, you can't argue with the price. They just got to get that consistency. That is the only thing that kind of knocks them down. Fun size cruiser. I like the handle. Very excited to do Symphony soon. Are there height requirements for the slides? iFly or the Flow Rider? I don't know offhand, but it's all clearly marked.
And I'm assuming there probably is for at least some of those.
The Flow Rider, the one thing you will be doing is on that Flow Rider, you're signing something that says.
On all of those, I think you're sliding.
No, the big dry slide, we didn't sign anything.
Oh, no.
But on the Flow Rider, you're going to sign something, a waiver that basically says if anything happens to you, it's your fault.
And they start you off now. You have to start on your stomach.
Yeah.
And then if you're good enough at that, they'll let you progress to being on your knees and then standing, if that's what you want.
Yeah, but the Flow Rider, I mean, they all do have requirements. I don't know them offhand, but they're clearly marked. Everything is clearly marked. I want to say the ice skating is probably the only one that doesn't really have a height requirement if you just want to go ice skating. And I recommend that. It's like, I'm skating in the middle of the Caribbean. How weird is that? It's so much fun. But that Flow Rider, man, if anything happens to you, I hope you got travel insurance.
I'm sure the iFly as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The iFly as well. Which is not on the Symphony.
No.
So, that's only on the Quantum class. So if you're looking for the iFly, that's not the ship. That is on the Odyssey Quantum Anthem. So
I'm just trying to think of other things that needed I know when they used to have the bungee thing, you had to sign up.
Right. And folks, by the way, if you're new to the channel, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. And the voice that you keep hearing is my wife, Rebecca, off camera. She's my partner in crime in this whole business here. And she does a lot of the research for y'all. And just like she talks off camera here, you'll hear her on the phone calls a lot of times chiming in from the side, correcting me. Mr. T is using the Cocoa Beach shuttle. Where do we recommend staying near Cocoa Beach or near Orlando Airport? So the cool thing about the Cocoa Beach shuttle, that is actually the one that we recommend. They're a family-run company out of Cocoa Beach. What's really cool about them, they will pick you up at pretty much most any Orlando hotel, so you don't have to do it from the airport. They will take you to most any Cocoa Beach hotel, and then they'll bring you to the ship the next day. So they're a really good company. If you're coming into Orlando, you're going to Port Canaveral, Cocoa Beach shuttle is great. Now, if you're getting in late, if you're getting in, say, after 4 p.m., I do recommend staying in the Orlando area. You can look for something in the Disney Springs area because Disney Springs is 100% free, and you can go hang out and have some dinner. You can have
and there are a
shows
few
and things like that.
Hotels, pretty much decent hotels right near the airport.
Well, that's true. There are a lot. Actually, there's a bunch of them just north of the, literally just north of the airport.
Can't remember what they are. But.
Yeah, and I mean, they're all the major chains. And if you look, you'll notice that some of them literally have like restaurants right in the parking lots. And those are really handy dandy. You go to the hotel, you just walk out and you go to the parking lot. They're all the major chains. But if you do a Google search of the Orlando airport and then just go slightly north, you're going to see a whole cluster of them right there. But Cocoa Beach Hotel is great, or Cocoa Beach Shuttle is great. At Cocoa Beach, we stayed at the Hilton, which is right on the beach. It's lovely.
And the Hampton Inn.
The Hampton Inn. Those are the two that we stayed in on Cocoa Beach. We put clients in the Courtyard, Hampton Inn, that Hilton. We put clients in a bunch of places over there. But generally, if you get in, say, before 4 p.m. Eastern time, I would go to Cocoa Beach so you're already there. If you get in after 4 p.m. and it's been a long flight, then just stay in the Orlando area and catch the shuttle the next morning. It's about a 1-hour drive from here. Yeah. Do I know anything about private boat tours in Nassau? I don't offhand. No, I do not. If anybody here does, certainly chime in. What I will say is we have a great independent tour partner called Venture Ashore. Great company. They have a full return to ship guarantee, just like the cruise line. So you don't have to worry about, being left behind or anything like that. Should the ship leave without you, they will get you to the next port. It's not on you, so you're totally taken care of. So that I would recommend. Obviously, if you're going to do any private tours, do a lot of research. Certainly go on TripAdvisor, go on cruisecritic.com, check out the companies, good people. When somebody finds somebody good, they share them. But we don't know of any private tours in Nassau offhand, but I would certainly recommend Venture Ashore to see if they have any. Good morning, Janet. How are you? Rick is saying he wants to go on the Disney Treasure for the Moana show. That does look like it's going to be spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. So, Cheryl, you've been to Norwegian Belize Port. You did the zip line. It was fun and you enjoyed the beach. That is fantastic. Oh, Roger's asking a great question.
And just briefly, if you're trying to ask any questions about Virgin Voyages on TikTok, You cannot use the word virgin because
You
TikTok
cannot.
will block you.
Yes, we are not blocking those questions. If you're trying to ask a question about Virgin Voyages and you're on TikTok, use VV, use the name of the ship, whatever you want to do. Just don't use the word virgin on there. TikTok puts an automatic block on that, which is kind of odd because Virgin Voyages is a big account on TikTok. So, but Roger's asking a fabulous question. Any thoughts on the Margaritaville? Yes. Actually, Rebecca and I have been invited by Margaritaville. We are going on the Friends and Family sailing June 11th through the 13th of the brand spanking new Islander. We're going to get off the ship, and then it sounds like we're going to get right back on the ship on the 14th for the inaugural sailing, the 14th through the 18th. Folks, if you've been with me for a while, you know I've always joked. I said there's one ship, one cruise line I won't book you on. Well, now that's no longer true. The Margaritaville Islander is a former Costa ship. I want to say she's the same as the Spirit class in Carnival. She was sent in for a proper dry dock. She is really looking beautiful. We've seen the pictures coming out of the real ship. She looks amazing. So here's the deal. The original Margaritaville bombed, right? They did a terrible job. And it actually wasn't Margaritaville's fault. They trusted their partner, Bahamas Paradise, to do the right thing. Bahamas Paradise just simply did not live up to the Margaritaville resort standards, which Margaritaville resorts are very nice. They're really, generally highly rated. And so Margaritaville stepped in September of 2023. They bought out the original company, basically got rid of everybody. They've been bringing in all cruise line veterans. They now have brand standards set for their ships. So the Islander has been built, or not built, but renovated to Margaritaville resort standards. And from the pictures that we have been seeing, she looks absolutely beautiful. The company is actually based here in Orlando. I've gotten to know them. And so they said, look, when the ship's ready, we want you to come on and see it because we know that you did not like the original ship. So they've invited us to come on. And I have to say from the pictures, I am really excited to get on this ship. And actually, what's really cool too is on that 13th, we've kind of got a down day. Right now, we're planning to meet up with Tony and hopefully Jenny from La Lita Loca. We've never met Jenny. We've hung out with Tony before. So hopefully on the 13th, we're going to get to hang out with Tony over in the Tampa area. So yes, Margaritaville, stay tuned. I will be broadcasting from the ship soon and telling you exactly how it is. User 319, you heard the lawn clubs are going away on Celebrity, hard to maintain the grass.
I've been hearing that for a long time.
They've been saying that for many years. They haven't done it yet. I'm actually kind of surprised that they haven't done it because we've been on 4 of those so far. And I do remember one time we were on like literally right after they had done a crossing or something and all the salt spray had come over and basically killed all the grass. I can't imagine it's easy to maintain. At all. And I'm kind of surprised that they haven't gone to like an artificial turf, but an artificial turf is going to get really hot really fast in the Caribbean. So, I don't know. They would probably have to reconfigure that into something completely different because artificial turf will get really, really hot. So,
certainly not in
wind chime.
Certainly not an easy fix. It would have to be during a dry dock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It would have to definitely be a dry dock. Aaron is asking, Royal Freedom of the Seas won him over with Giovanni's Italian Kitchen, which you found to be a lot better than Jamie's. Walter, have you tried either of those? We have done Jamie's, and we did a tasting at Giovanni's on the Icon of the Seas. Giovanni's was not open during the preview, but we had a tasting. And I will say just from the tasting, Giovanni's was far superior than what we had on Jamie's.
Which we've been hearing from a lot of people.
Yeah, Jamie's to me is like Olive Garden. It's nothing exciting. It's very safe Italian food. Whereas on the Giovanni's, it definitely felt more, it can't be authentic on a cruise ship, but let's just say it was closer to being more authentic. So I would equate Jamie's with Olive Garden and Giovanni's with a decent Italian restaurant. So Jagger, the best way to solo cruise? Good question. I don't know about the best way, but the most friendly, the solo friendly cruise lines out there. Certainly Virgin Voyages has solo cabins. Norwegian has well over 1,000 solo cabins across the fleet. Royal Caribbean has about 250 solo cabins across the fleet. Oceania has solo interiors. Plus,
on all but 2 of their ships.
Yeah, and also a lot of river cruises have solo cabins. And in fact, our friends over at Riverside have 40 departures that are solo only. Like literally, there are 32 cabins on the ship, so there will be 32 solo passengers on the ship at that time. So yeah, so there's a lot of different ways to go solo. Plus, some cruise lines, like Princess, for example, they don't advertise that there is a lower solo supplement on certain cruises. They're just there. Like when we go to book the cruise for the guests, they're just there. And it's like, oh, okay. So they're not going to pay that full 100%. So, and I will say one of the best ways to figure out a good solo cruise is certainly work with a travel advisor. I mean, obviously we'd love to work with you, but work with one of our many colleagues, because we go out and we do the research for you. It's rather daunting when you're trying to find the best, and you will go to 10 different solo websites and they'll tell you 10 different things, do this, do this, do this. And so what we try to do is we try to work with you to find out, well, what exactly are you looking for? What kind of activities do you want on the ship? What kind of an itinerary do you want? What kind of a blend of ages do you want? And then we try to present you with 3 or 4 options that we think are going to work within that. And then we just kind of keep working back and forth. So there are a lot of different ways to solo travel. You will be paying, a solo supplement on most cruise lines for many of the cabins, but there are ways that we can work around that and find you a good cabin.
Yeah, so I think it's best to pick a ship you're going to enjoy, because then you'll enjoy what's going on the ship. You'll be doing activities where you might meet other people.
Yes.
And the other thing I always encourage, even if a cruise line has solo cabins, compare the price between the solo cabin and booking a regular cabin just for one person. Yeah. Oftentimes the price is not that much different.
And sometimes cheaper.
Sometimes.
Like we've seen that where like the studio on Norwegian is actually more expensive than the solo inside, which is a double occupancy cabin. Go figure.
And I've seen that on Virgin Voyages as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of times, I guess, because it's a kind of supply and demand thing, and there's fewer of the solo cabins. So once they get in short supply, their price goes up, and there might still be a whole bunch of other regular insides. So.
Like we've seen the regular inside, the double occupancy, like maybe $300, $400 cheaper than the solo, which doesn't make any sense, but there's a lot fewer of them. So Cindy, you're counting down to the Sun Princess group cruise. That's another big group cruise that we're doing.
153.
153. And I had minutes counting down too. October 19th through the 26th. Now this is really starting to fill up. This is the second sailing in the United States for the Sun Princess. We didn't even know that when we picked it. We just kind of picked this date because we did not want to sail on Europe on a brand new ship, a brand new class, because we knew there were going to be issues. We didn't know there were going to be that many issues that would delay so many things on it. But we're going to be October 19th through the 26th. It is starting to fill in. We are offering $100 onboard credit if you join our group. And in fact, the group is going to be closed somewhat soon. So October 19th through the 26th, Fort Lauderdale, Princess Keys, San Juan, St. Thomas, and then 3 sea days. So we're planning to do a cabin crawl, hopefully on the second sea day, and we got some other things going on. So if you want to come join us, where's waltertravel.com? We're going on the all new Sun Princess. I can't wait. What'd you say? 153? 153? 153 days and counting. Yay. Eric is actually saying, wasn't my solo balcony less expensive than a solo inside on the Aqua Group cruise? I don't remember off the top of my head, but that's possible. That's possible. Yeah. I honestly can't remember.
It does happen.
It does
and sometimes
happen.
It might even maybe it's a little more expensive, like maybe 100 or 2 more expensive, but you get more space.
Hey, Christy.
In most cases.
Oh, and thank you, Chris, for the shout out on Cocoa Beach. That's right. That was a last minute deal. Mark, you're concerned about your mom doing a solo cruise on Norwegian to Europe. She will be on the Norwegian Dawn. Well, obviously, I don't know what the concerns are offhand, but if you're concerned about, maybe when she gets to the ports and going off and doing things, certainly one way to kind of help with that would be to do ship excursions, right? They're very easy. They usually meet inside the ship, and then they walk you off, or they're going to be waiting for her right outside. So if you have some concerns about her, when she gets to port, then I would recommend that she just stick with the Norwegian excursions. When she gets on the ship, she's going to start meeting some folks on there.
And that's a small ship, so you meet people easier.
It's a smaller ship. Maybe find a Facebook group or the Cruise Critic roll call for that particular ship, so she starts to get to know some people before she even gets on the ship. That's a great way. We've done that. where we've gotten to know people before we even get on the ship. So those are my 2 suggestions for that. User 423, you're going on a Hawaii 14-day cruise on Carnival. Any advice? Yes, take us. Take the 2 of us. That's my advice. Not really. Just understand that you've got about usually 8 sea days, 7 or 8 sea days. So you're going to have a lot of sea days going in and a lot of sea days coming back. So just know that the ship is going to be your entertainment for a lot of that cruise. Then as far as like over in Hawaii, I mean, you're somewhat, I don't want to say limited, but you're all going to be hitting the same spot. So it just depends on what kinds of things you want to do. I think the most spectacular thing that our friend Stephanie did, she did that helicopter tour where they descended right down that Jurassic Park waterfall from the first movie where the helicopter comes down. And she said it was just amazing because they were playing the Jurassic Park theme in the headset that they're flying in. And it was just absolutely amazing. That I would certainly do. Beyond that, I don't really have.
I mean, the nice thing about longer cruises is that it kind of takes some of the pressure off to just get everything done. So you can take your time. If you miss a show the first time, chances are it's going to be run again some other day. So you can go see the show another day. And I will say with those longer cruises, the age range will skew older than the normal Carnival and 7-day and less crowd. Yeah,
you're probably going to be like 50, 55, 60, somewhere in there, probably be the median age for that cruise. Joel wants to know if we've done the Celebrity Eclipse. We've done the Equinox, the Reflection, and the Silhouette, which are sister ships. And in fact, the Equinox has the glass blowing, just like the Eclipse. Just beautiful ship, absolutely beautiful, beautiful ship. I think the main dining room and the buffet are elevated above most cruise lines. If you go in Aqua Class, Aqua Class is our favorite because they have the Blue Restaurant. The Blue Restaurant is just an amazing main dining room experience. It's only for Aqua Class. And then, of course, if you go into the Retreat, you get the Luminae. But the Eclipse is just a gorgeous, gorgeous ship. That whole Solstice class is absolutely stunning. I think there's some of the most beautiful ships in that size. The Royal class from Princess comes close. I think those two kind of compete with each other right there. But yeah, the Eclipse is a stunning, stunning ship. You're heading to Bermuda for your first time out of New Jersey next month. Okay. So definitely recommend trying out, like if you're a sushi person, the Raw and 5, we really did enjoy that. Of course, look up the Le Petit Chef, see if you want to get into that. That's the one with the projected screen and all that, where they serve you and all that good stuff. So yeah, she's a beautiful ship. I think you're going to have a fabulous time. Best piece of advice is if you like a good cocktail, a really good cocktail, you go to the World Class Bar, which is kind of on your way to the theater. A lot of people miss it. They only serve like 12 or 14 cocktails. They have a very specific menu, but they take their time. They're craft cocktails. They do cost a little more. But, me, when I drink a cocktail, I'm only going to have 1, maybe 2 in an evening, and I want a really good one. So World Class Bar is one of the best. And I do see the comment from TikTok that some comments were filtered. So once again, if you're trying to ask a question about Virgin Voyages and you're on TikTok, you can't use the word Virgin. Use VB or, use the name of the ship. So Roger says he's never been on a cruise, watching us on YouTube. Well, hello, Roger. Thanks for joining us. Maybe we'll convince you to take a cruise. But, cruising is not for everybody, and we fully get that. That's one of the reasons why we are a full service travel agency, doing land luxury and everything. But if you'd like to give cruising a try, listen in for a bit and certainly do reach out if you want to talk. Our services are 100% free. We'd love to help you. Carmen, you're welcome. We got you some specialty dining help there. That is fabulous. Good morning, Silver Librarian. How are you? It's so good to see you. Alex is making a great point over on YouTube that he sailed on MSC for about up to $2,000 less than the other cruise lines for the same itinerary, same date. That is absolutely true. MSC pricing is amazing. It's just the service can be a little bit up and down. And then Douglas has noticed, and I've seen this too, the Icon of the Seas prices seem to be coming down a little bit, maybe price correcting. Now, one of the big things I will say is we have a long list of Icon of the Seas friends and family rates. For the most part, balcony rates. But, we're getting balconies that are plus or minus 4,000 right in there for 2 people, which is a lot better than 6,000, which is where it's been. So there does seem to be some price correcting going on with the Icon. I haven't looked at the Star lately, but I'm betting the Star is going to be kind of the same way. So yeah, if you've been waiting on the Icon of the Seas, it is starting to price correct just a little bit. So yeah. Good morning, Silver Librarian. Good morning, Else. Recommendation for a Tampa hotel for the cruise next door. What's the one we just?
Well, we didn't book it yet because we're waiting.
But
Home to Suites. It's a Hilton brand.
Yeah, Home to Suites is the one that we're going to book in Tampa. It's literally right there. Literally, I forget who used to say that. Literally, on TV, but it's right there. Like you can have
on Parks and Rec. The Rob Lowe character.
Yeah, that's right, the Rob Lowe character. So, but it's literally right there at the port. So you can be outside having a cocktail, having a meal, and the ships are right there. So that's kind of cool. Home to Suites in Tampa. That's the one we're going to be booking. Yeah, it's the number 2. So yeah. Which is the best way to get to the Southampton port from London? Oh, I don't have an offhand answer for that. I'd have to go back and look. I'll be honest, we haven't had a lot of sailors sail out of Southampton. Most of our clients have been going out of like Barcelona, Greece, or Rome. If anybody has a great answer on that one, I'm
sure there's shuttles that run between the two because it's a pretty common port.
We have a lot of notes.
There may even
just not here.
There may even be some sort of public. I don't know if there's trains or something.
And the cruise lines will very often have a transport. Now you would have to get back to the airport to do that for the most part. But the cruise lines very often have transfers from the airport to the cruise port and then back again. The only trick with that is like if you come in a day or two early, you've got to go back to the airport to meet up with it. But they will have that. If anybody has done it recently and has suggestions to get from Southampton, from London down to Southampton, certainly throw them in there. I don't have that in my little Rolodex. I have Rome, Athens, and Barcelona in my head. I'm so sorry. But if somebody else has some ideas, please throw it in there. Good morning, margaritas. I love it. Nicole is looking for a good cruise, no kids for spring break. Well, that would be Virgin Voyages right off the bat. Boom. No kids, 18 plus only. And if you want to go adult centric, Celebrity would be a good one as well. Princess would be a good one. There will be kids on the ship. There'll be more kids on Princess than Celebrity. Holland America as well. Yeah, Holland America. There could be a lot of grandkids on Holland America. But Virgin Voyages, I mean, that's 18 plus. So
and pretty much any of the more luxury lines skew more
like
adult.
Oceania. Oceania is oh man, if you like food, holy crap, Oceania is the one. They're absolutely freaking amazing. So Claire W, a week from today. Oh, and if we can help you at all, Nicole, just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. You're watching on TikTok, so just click the logo and then go to the link tree. There's a contact us form there. Where I'll always remind you guys, our services are 100% free. You don't pay us anything. I know some of our colleagues are starting to charge a planning fee and a cancellation fee and some of these other fees. We don't do that. We are 100% free. So, yeah, absolutely. Aaron wants to know, what is our favorite specialty restaurant on the Solstice class, considering doing just one? I think my favorite meal so far has been in Murano, which is the French restaurant. Our favorite restaurant doesn't exist anymore. It was called Cuisine, the letter Q and Zine. They turned that into Le Petit Chef now. But that was our favorite. It used to be a tapas restaurant.
Yeah, that was amazing. Good.
Yeah, it was one of the best restaurants to see. It was really
actually, good. When we were on a longer, and I think they only do it on 10-day or longer cruises on the Equinox, one night they did an Indian night in the sushi place, which was really good. Yeah.
Going back for just a second, Raul, I've got a Fun Size Cruiser on YouTube said they just did the London to Southampton trip last weekend.
Ooh, good.
Southwestern train from Waterloo or National Express bus from Victoria Station, direct from London to Southampton, a few miles from the port. Thank you so much, Fun Size Cruiser. That is fabulous. So again, you have the Southwestern train from Waterloo or National Express bus from Victoria Station. Those are the two suggestions. I love our community. Thank you so much for offering that. One person can't know it all. We just, we keep a lot up here, but we can't keep it all. So yeah, thank you so much. That is awesome. Claire W., a week from today, you fly out to Jacksonville to get on the Carnival Elation. Have an amazing time. Mental health worker, is it hard to get a handicap room? You have mobility issues. It's not hard to get them. You just have to book early. There's a very limited supply, say like, 2 or 3% of all the cabins on a cruise ship. Because there's two levels. There's fully accessible, and then there's
on some cruise lines, not all of them.
But there's fully accessible, and then medical
ambulatory.
Ambulatory. So if you need fully accessible cabins, you need to book early, and I'm talking like now, like a year out. In order to get them.
More out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to get them. You just have to plan early to get them, and work with a travel advisor, because we can see the whole deck plans, we can see what's available, and then jump in and get them for you. So yeah. Keith is using the Ovation of the Seas in Alaska. You're going on the Ovation of the Seas in Alaska with both a manual wheelchair and an electric scooter. Wow, that is going to be something. That is amazing. I hope you have an awesome time. I will say, if you haven't seen our video yet, I did a video, probably like 6 months ago now, maybe a year, on the Will C2 chair and the Will F model. Those are amazing, and the F model actually folds up against the wall, which is just absolutely stonking amazing. So if any of you are using scooters, looking to rent scooters, Scooter Round does rent the Will in certain locations, not everywhere, but in certain locations they do rent the Will. That's an amazing chair. It's got a little joystick on the right. Oh my God, it's absolutely amazing. Good morning, Pretty TK. User 256, what information do you need to check in online with Royal? So it's all on the app, and it's literally step-by-step on the app. It's going to be right there. You're probably going to need.
And this is the same information for pretty much every cruise line's check-in.
Yeah. So, but it literally, you just follow along. They may want a picture of your passport, your photo ID. They're going to want a picture of you. You're going to answer some questions. The only thing.
Credit card information.
Information.
And charges.
Yeah, so, and it's literally step by step. You just follow along, answer this question, take this picture,
and
upload
you'll need
that.
somebody to be your emergency contact.
Yeah. And then the only thing you're not going to do until 24 hours before the cruise is you're going to answer the health survey. But all the rest of it is literally step by step by step. Just get the app out and start going through the check-in, and it's literally going to say, take this picture, upload this, take a picture of that. So it literally just walks you right through.
And they generally also do ask you if you're pregnant, and if so, how far along you are, because every cruise line has limits. Some are around 20 some weeks that you can't be more than that pregnant at any point during the cruise.
And I'm sorry, Kevin, I just saw the second half of your question, that are the ports electric scooter friendly in Alaska?
Depends on the port.
Yeah, I would say, it's going to depend on the port. So I'm trying to think. So and it also depends on which cruise line you're on, because like Princess and Holland America, they dock directly in Ketchikan. Some of the others don't. But I would say for the most part, they are going to be, paved roads, somewhat flat. There are going to be areas that are going to be dirt. There are going to be some areas that are going to be gravel. But for the most part, you should be able to get off the ship. You should be able to go into the main town, whether that's Juneau, Skagway, Ketchikan, Icy Strait Point. I don't know a lot about yet in terms of the port area, but you should be able to stay within the port area. Now, going off to do excursions and things like that, there is a lot of dirt roads. There's a lot of gravel out there. So you're going to have to check on those individual tours to make sure you can actually go on some of those. I'm sorry I didn't see the second half of your question until just now, but that's a great question. It's certainly something that, we can now start to help with, like on Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. We can actually see the excursions now, so we can see the descriptions and kind of help you guys out, figuring out what you can and can't do. We can also reach out to our travel partners and ask them, look, my client's interested in going on this particular excursion. They have a mobility scooter. Your thing doesn't say anything, but is it okay for the scooter? Will they have a good time? So that is one, another slight advantage to working with a
lot of cruise line excursions will be marked mobility friendly. Mm-hmm. So you can look for those.
Yeah. Hypermender, do I recommend doing any of the excursions first time cruising? Oh gosh, yes. When you go on a ship, that's part of, when you go on a cruise, that's part of the experience, right? But also know you don't have to get off the ship. When you're in a port, 50 to 75% of the ship's going to disappear. Now you've got the whole ship to yourself, and the ship is still running. The pool's still open. If there's a movie screen out there, they're going to be showing movies. There will be some trivia and games. There will be far less than a sea day, but there will be some things going on throughout the ship. You're going to have the pool to yourself. The spa, usually there's discounted pricing when you're in a port. So if you want to try out the spa, that's a good day to try out the spa. It's on a port day. And on a first time cruise, if you've never cruised before and you're a little concerned about, well, are they going to leave me? Are they not going to leave me? Just stick with the cruise line excursions, just because a lot of times they're going to start right in the port. Hello. They're going to start right in the port or in the ship, I should say. They're going to meet you in the ship and they're going to take you off the ship. Or they're going to meet you literally right outside the ship. So yeah, I definitely encourage you to get out and do some excursion, but do one that you actually want to do. Don't just pick one and go, oh, well, we got to do one. Because if there's nothing there that you want to do, stay on the ship or just get off and go walk around, depending on where you're going. Just get off and go walk around. So Glynis, you booked the MSC World America. Will only be your second cruise. We've got, let's see, John's on there. John is going to be in the yacht club. And I was just talking to Rebecca about that. I was like, we got to book ourselves on that. On that date, May 31st, we will be on the Norwegian Aqua.
Gosh, there's a snake in the backyard.
There's a snake? Oh, so there is. There's a snake in the backyard.
I don't know anything about snakes.
It's just a black one. It's just a black one. It's a little black one back there. I'm sure there's alligators back there somewhere behind the fence. Oh, look at that guy. I haven't seen one here. Yeah, he's going across. How about that? Snakes in the backyard. Welcome to National Geographic in Orlando. Okay. Cousin Leroy, you must take at least one cruise and let the world's best travel agent book you. Oh, you are so nice, Michael. Thank you so much. Can't wait to meet you guys, right? September. You're coming down here in September to go to Disney, and I cannot wait to meet you guys. It's going to be so awesome. So awesome. I know, Becky, wildlife exciting. I should have just picked up the camera and ran out there, but that's okay. He's going across to the neighbor's yard, apparently. Good morning, Barbara. And I missed a question up here. Alex, do I think any other cruise lines will make any changes based on Virgin's differentiators, i.e. late disembark, buffet changes, etc.? I definitely don't see them doing the late disembark. They want to get those people off the ship as quickly as they can, turn that ship around. Virgin has a whole different mindset on how they do things. With the buffet, if you have not noticed, the Sun Princess is a served buffet, which I love. I would love for all cruise lines to get rid of the self-serve buffet personally. I don't like them. That is probably the number one source of when you have these norovirus outbreaks. It's probably the buffet. I have no science to prove that.
I would say that and the stairs and or elevators. Yeah,
the handrails and the elevators. But the Sun Princess did away with the self-serve buffet. That is a served buffet. And what I would really like to see the other cruise lines do, let's just go ahead and roll in the Wi-Fi and let's roll in the gratuities. Just get it over with, because so many people get it anyway. Just put it in there. Virgin Voyages did it. Here you go. You got Wi-Fi. The gratuities are taken care of. Forget about it. We don't even know what we're paying for Wi-Fi and gratuities on Virgin Voyages because they've just thrown it in there. So I would like to see them do that. I would like to see more cruise lines do that. If you haven't seen the news, California passed a law that says travel companies can no longer advertise pricing unless all the fees and taxes are in there. So all the cruise lines have always advertised their pricing as the lowest price guarantee for a solo traveler, but without the port fees and taxes in there to make the price look lower than it really is. New California law says starting July 1st, they're going to have to show all the fees and taxes, which is great. So Virgin has been doing that. Well, Virgin turned them off. They had them on, then they turned them off. Now they're going to be turning them back on again. But that will be that will be a good thing for us, because that's one of the things we always have to deal with is not deal with, but we just have to show folks that they're like, hey, I'm seeing, $500 less on Princess's website. And I have to say, well, put it in the cart because the taxes aren't there yet. And then once they put it in the cart, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's the same price. It's no less. Pretty TK is hoping to use Brightline for your cruise from Miami, hoping the prices go down. Keep it, get on their mailing list.
Yes, that's the sign up for email notifications, because the price won't go down, but they'll have sales.
Yeah, they have sales all the time. Plus, you can use the code Princess15, all one word, Princess15, to get 15% off any of the Brightline trains. But they are like, they did, I did, they had a $35 each way just running recently. They've had $50 each way. So if anybody is coming to Florida and you're thinking about the Brightline train, get on their mailing list now, their email list. That's one email list you want to be on. They are constantly having sales and markdowns and this and that. Now, most of them are for a limited time.
Yeah, very
right?
short
They fit a window, but if it fits your window, you're in. So, Hypermender, Mender, first time cruising next month. Should you worry about doing any excursions, or should there be plenty? Now, depending on the ship you're going on and the type of excursion you want to go on, excursions do sell out in advance. There's only a finite number of people that can go on certain excursions. Especially one of the kind of like rules of thumb, the more expensive the excursion is, usually the less spots there are. So it'll probably sell out. If it's like a really cheap, like $20 ride around the city and all that, that's probably still going to be available on the day of the cruise. But the general rule of thumb is, if you want to do something, like you see something, I really want to do this, book it. Just book it. Because if you try to wait till you get on the ship, it could be gone. So, and then if there's things like, yeah, I could do it, I could pass on it, just wait till you get on the ship and see if you still want to do it when you get on the ship. So, yeah. We have a recommendation in Amsterdam, Move and Pick Hotel. I love that. Amy, you loved the food video from the Scarlet Lady. It was your guide for your trip. That was, I'll tell you what, that was such a fun cruise. Not only did we have amazing food, but it's the first and still only time that we cruised with my friends Christine and George that I've known since high school. And we have tried for years to cruise together, but she's a teacher and only goes in the summer, and we rarely cruise in the summer because it's just so doggone hot here.
And a lot of kids.
And a lot of kids. Not that there's a problem with that. We're okay with kids. It's just we like to try to avoid them.
More the parents who let their kids run amok.
That is, that's a very valid point. It's not so much that it's the kids. It's just, the parents are just, it's okay. Yeah, just let the kid go do whatever they want. And it's like, well, sometimes you got to have a little bit of discipline on the kids. But anyway, now I digress. Fun Size Cruiser is asking, how tolerant are cruisers in general? You just realized your group of 75 fellow cruisers would dwarf. You just realized your group cruise, 75 cruisers with dwarfism on Icon this July, and they have a production of Wizard of Oz on board. So the interesting thing about that show is there are no little people at all on that show. And I'm sorry, I don't know if that was the right word, but they're all adults on the show, standard adults on the show. So there's not even any mention of
the residents are
the residents are just
colorful costumes and all.
Yeah, lots of colorful costumes, lots of different people represented. But yeah, so it's actually a really good show. The interesting thing about that Wizard of Oz show on the Icon, one, it has a 16-piece orchestra. Amazing. Like you're going to almost feel like you're in Broadway, because that's what it sounded like when the orchestra started playing. And two, the show has very tight regulations from the estate of Frank L. Baum, or whatever, I think that's his name, that the script, you're basically going to be watching the movie. It is essentially almost word for word from the movie, because that is the stipulation from them. They could not change anything that was in the script. It is beautifully produced. It is really well done. And it kind of turns into a celebration of people, is really what it turns into, just because of the way they staged it and the wide variety of people who live in the world there. So it's actually a really well done show, and a very clever use of the same actors playing multiple roles, just like the movie. Really, really well done. I think you're going to enjoy it. I really do. User 256, and thank you so much for the question. I hope I said everything correctly. So user 256, what airport is closest to Galveston? Well, you have two. You got Hobby and Houston International. They're not
basically
all that
you're flying
far
into
apart.
Houston.
Yeah, you're flying into Houston, so you've got two choices to fly into, depending on where you're flying from. One's going to be cheaper than the other, and then you probably, if you're getting there early enough, try to find a hotel down in Galveston, so that you've already taken care of that 45-minute ride or 1 hour ride to get down to Galveston, so it's out of the way.
Closer to an hour.
Yeah. So like same here. It's basically like going to Port Canaveral. You fly into Orlando, it's about an hour to get to the port. So if you're coming in earlier, just get to the port city. If you're coming in like a little later in the day, look for a hotel that has a nice restaurant nearby so you can just like get in the hotel, relax, and then just go fresh in the morning to get there.
Well, Houston is supposed to have an amazing food scene, so.
Yeah, Houston is supposed to have an amazing food scene. We lived in the Houston area for almost a year, but it was literally right at the height of the pandemic, so we did not get a chance to go down there. Nate, is Utopia the same as Icon? No, Utopia is an Oasis class ship. So she's the next Oasis class ship. So she's basically the same as the Wonder, the Symphony, Oasis, Harmony, all of those ships. However, they have taken bits from Icon, such as Azumi in the Park is on the Utopia of the Seas. So they're kind of blending, and they're saying that Oasis 7, whatever it is, it's also going to pull from the Icon class. I personally don't think they need another Oasis ship, but apparently Royal Caribbean does. So we're going to get another Oasis class ship. But Utopia is an Oasis class. So Liz G, thank you for that input, saying that Sitka is not really mobility friendly, but others are. So that'll be nice. Karat, have we been on Icon? Yes, there are videos on TikTok and YouTube of us on the Icon of the Seas. We were on for 3 nights. 3 nights, I'll tell you, 3 nights is not enough. We went on a preview before it officially started sailing. But yeah, in fact, 75,000 of you tuned in while we did some lives from the ship. That was crazy. But it's a great ship. I actually like the Icon class more than the Oasis class, just in the terms of the flow of the ship. Like there were no dead ends. You could walk from one end of the ship to the other very easily. The smart elevators actually work. They're really nice. They've tied in Central Park with the promenade, so you can actually walk up from the promenade up straight into Central Park. You can see the ocean from Central Park. You can get back to Surfside into Central Park very easily without, a lot of up and down and all around. And actually, a little thing that they did that I absolutely love, Deck 6, which is right, so there's the promenade, Deck 5, Deck 6 is right above it. They've actually made the walkways on both sides fully walkable, so you can go through the entire promenade up on Deck 6 above the main crowd, which I really, really like. And that Pearl Cafe is amazing, absolutely beautiful. And the first time you walk into the Overlook, just remember when you walk up to the front and you see the Aqua Theater, don't stop. Keep going around the Aqua Theater to the front. That's where the Overlook is. Oh my God! The first time you walk in there, I think your breath is going to be taken away. It is so absolutely beautiful. And then go over to the Ryan Bean right next to it and get yourself an espresso martini or a really good coffee drink. Yeah. Nate, what do we think of Pandora in Animal Kingdom? Not our favorite, being honest.
It's beautiful.
Oh man, at night, it is so cool at night with all the noise and the lights and all of that. The rides are not my favorite.
The Flight of Passage, I'm not real good with a lot of those screen-based rides.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of give me a little bit of nausea.
Mm-hmm.
So since that's a screen-based ride, I don't particularly care for that.
Yeah.
The Navi River journey is nice. It's just I would only do it if the wait is a half hour or less.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the best part of that ride is the animatronic at the end. I mean, she's absolutely amazing. That animatronic.
The one of my favorite places to eat in Animal Kingdom is actually over there, the Sully Cafe.
Yeah.
Satuli Cafe, whatever that is.
It's actually really good. Animal Kingdom is our favorite of the 4, really, just because it's so stonking beautiful. I love to get to Animal Kingdom first thing in the morning and go take a walk. It is so absolutely
And
gorgeous.
I encourage you not to discount the 2 walking trails. The Maharaja Jungle Trek is where you'll find, many animals, but amongst them are the tigers. They're elusive, so you don't always get to see them. And then there's the Gorilla Jungle Trek.
Gorilla Jungle Trek, yeah.
Which you'll see gorillas.
Yeah, you will see gorillas. Dale wants to know if we've been on the Escape. We call it the Escape, and no, this is iced tea. I'm sorry to disappoint you. This is iced tea. I know y'all were thinking it was a cocktail, but I turned hot tea into iced tea using my shaker. Yes, we've been on the Escape. We loved it. So the Escape is kind of cool. It's kind of near and dear to our heart. It was the very first ship we sailed on after the restart. And what I'm going to tell you, folks, we sailed on it with only 1,800 people. So that ship is designed for about 4,000 plus. And because we were coming out of the pandemic, all the restrictions, we only had 1,800 people on that ship. It was amazing. But that has one of our favorite restaurants. It has the Food Republic, which is an amazing restaurant on there. at the time, the cruise director staff was fabulous. They did a lot of trivia games right there around the main screen. That's one of the things I like about that class of ship from Norwegian. They have that big screen in the atrium, and while there's really not a whole lot of seating and it can get really crowded, we tend to sit on the upper deck right above it. They do really great games, trivia. They do a lot of visual trivia and things like that. So yeah, the Escape is a great ship. Highly recommend Deck 8, which is the waterfront. Goes about 3/4 of the way around the ship. Lots of seating. They have outside restaurants. There's a gelato bar there. There's a bar there. It's a great place just to hang out because there's not a whole lot of shade up on the top. It's pretty much a big sun deck. So we tend to just hang out on the waterfront when we're just kind of hanging out on the ship. So yeah, absolutely. Georgia Tigers, I think is what it is. I'm so sorry. I probably said it wrong. Best way to get to Port Canaveral, flying into Orlando the night before, but very late, so staying near the airport. So you have two choices. Since you're staying near the airport, you could pick up a cruise line shuttle. You got to set that up in advance. You got to pay for that in advance. But you could just simply, get a ride, have the hotel shuttle, if they have one, just take you back over to the airport and pick you up. Or Cocoa Beach Shuttle. That's the one that we recommend to everybody. Cocoa Beach Shuttle. It's all one word website. They're a family-run business out of Cocoa Beach. They will pick you up at pretty much any hotel and then bring you straight into whatever port, whatever terminal you're going to. That's what I recommend. So those would be the two options. Either go back to the airport, pick up a cruise line transfer that you've already paid for. You can't just show up. You've got to pay for that in advance. Or Cocoa Beach Shuttle be the other one. Bobby wants to know, are we checking out the all-new Islander? Yes, we just talked about that a little while ago. We are going on the Friends and Family sailing June 11th through the 13th. Then it looks like they're bringing us right back on the ship June 14th for the inaugural. So we're still confirming that one, but we know we're going to be on June 11th through the 13th. We've become really good friends with the folks. They happen to be right here in Orlando. Margaritaville at Sea is right here in Orlando. They're setting up a Tampa office. But we've become very good friends with them. We're starting to see the pictures from the Islander. She looks gorgeous. Like they are actually doing this ship right. Really excited. Obviously, we're going to be live from the ship. We're going to be bringing you all kinds of content from the ship. But yes, we are going to be on. We are going to be on the Margaritaville Islander, definitely June 11th through the 13th, and it sounds like the 14th through the 18th. We will also be on the ship. So we're very, very, very excited. Amy totally understands Rebecca's point. I'm so sorry. I don't remember which point that was.
No, by the next comment.
The Munchkins. Yes.
No.
Yeah. Oh, are we allowed? Oh, hobbyist closest? I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about.
The parents.
Oh, kids aren't the problem. It's the parents. So sorry. So sorry. Catherine, am I aware of any cruise lines that allow oxygen tanks on board? You have a portable concentrator. That is a cruise line by cruise line. Some of them do, some of them don't. So we just have to go into the...
basically you need to get in touch with the special needs department of each cruise line. But I was looking that up, and there is a website called...
Well, there's a special needs group.
No, there's a website called Travel with Oxygen.
Oh. And
they have links to all the cruise line policies on oxygen.
So what was that again?
Travelwithoxygen.com.
Travelwithoxygen.com. Sounds so obvious when you find it. So there you go. So it is a cruise line by cruise line thing. I do remember I just saw a discussion by somebody on one. Obviously, I'm part of a lot of Facebook groups of different cruise lines. I saw somebody saying, oh, well, they won't allow me to bring the oxygen on board. So you said definitely want to know that before you start the whole process. And keep in mind, too, that just because the cruise line allows it, it may not be every ship. Like some of the older ships, they may not allow it on. Maybe some of the newer ships, like Royal Caribbean has 26, 27 ships, whatever it is. So we got to check both the cruise line and also make sure it's every single one of their ships, too. So, yeah, thank you for that.
Definitely the cruise line will not provide you tanks. You will either have to bring them or rent them. Yeah.
And some cruise line may not even allow you to bring them. You may have to go through like a special needs group.
Yeah.
Scoot Around also rents them. So I know sometimes they don't even allow you to bring them because they don't know the condition of your tank. Whereas when these companies bring them on, they're verifying that these tanks are going to be good for you. So, yeah. Thank you, B. Kendrick, for the information. I love it. Thank you for the Houston information. Norma, hey, thank you so much. It was good to see you, Norma. Let's see. Fenway Chris wants to know some recommendations for LA and Vancouver cruise ports. You're doing the West Coast cruise on the Coral Princess. Well, obviously, the fun one in LA is going to be the Queen Mary. She's right there in Long Beach. We've had a few people stay there. Supposedly, she's haunted. But the Queen Mary is a cruise ship. So what better way to stay in a hotel before a cruise than to stay on a cruise ship? Now, you're not going to be anywhere near LA, but you are going to be out there by the cruise port. In Vancouver, oh, I'm blanking. We have a list of hotels. I don't know them offhand, but there are some hotels that are literally right on the cruise port. Like you probably step off the ship and almost walk into the hotel. And then there's others that are more downtown. So if you want to be a little bit more downtown, Vancouver is a fabulous walking town. Fabulous walking town. To me, it's like a smaller, cleaner New York City is what Vancouver reminds me of. So if it were me, I wouldn't stay right by the cruise port. I would stay a little bit further in town, especially if you're going to stay for a night or two. And I highly recommend if you're going to Vancouver, stay for a night or two because it is an absolutely beautiful town. Lots of great coffee, lots of great food. So yeah. Fun Size Cruiser, I did not. I was reading the comment on the thing. I am so sorry. For those of you on TikTok, did you just call me a munchkin? Is what Fun Size Cruiser said. I am so sorry. No, I was just simply reading a comment that was Silver Librarian's fault, not mine.
I don't even think they on that.
I can't even remember what they were, to be honest with you.
I think they're
what
just
the town was.
The people.
Yeah, I don't even think they called it Munchkin Land on the show, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. My thoughts on the Carnival Conquest. I don't have personal thoughts on that ship. We haven't been on the Conquest. In fact, we haven't even been on that class yet. We've been thinking about going on some of those ships. So if anybody has been on the Conquest, we have sent clients on it, and I can tell you they've enjoyed it. They really like it. It is a smaller ship, so it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of, the Excel class, the Vista class, and all of that. But, there's a lot of people who like that. It's a smaller ship. It's a little bit of a quieter ship. Joe Farkas, it's one of his classic designs. It's kind of you're on a cruise ship when you're on it. It's got a little bit of Vegas to it and fun. So I think it's a very fun ship. We've gotten no complaints from our clients who have been on that ship. So that's what I can tell you. If anybody here has been on the Conquest recently, please just go ahead and jump in and share your thoughts. I would love it. Mr. T, flying back from Orlando, do you think you can make an 11:45 a.m. flight? I would not try that one. You could make it, but if there's any issues at all, keep in mind it's 1 hour from the port to get back to Orlando. Then you've got to go through security, then you've got to get to your flight. So let's just say you get off the ship at 8 a.m. You might be at because when that shuttle brings you in, it's not going to take you right to it's got to make multiple stops. And when you get to Orlando, you could be in a 30-minute wait, just waiting to get to your terminal because that traffic jams up. So I would not try 11:45. I would do probably coming from there, I'd do 1:30 at the earliest, just to give yourself plenty of time to get there. Yeah.
And you never know what traffic's going to be as well.
Never know.
Definitely near the airport, it does back up.
Yeah. And keep in mind, too, it's only a two-lane highway coming from Port Canaveral and actually going to Port Canaveral.
At least currently. I think they're expanding.
So if there's any issues whatsoever, there's an accident or something, it's only 2 lanes. There's not many lanes to get around. At some point, they have announced that the Bright Line is going to add a Port Canaveral stop, because most people may not even realize this. When the train leaves Orlando, it goes straight to Port Canaveral. It's almost there. And then it turns, and goes south. It goes south. So where that bend is, I think it's about 10 minutes away from Port Canaveral. They're talking about making a stop there, so then you'll be able to take a train there and then just a short shuttle to get on in. So, Stephanie, you've read the tar in the Havana area is bad. I have no idea. I've not heard anything about that.
Well, I can say the Vista just went in for a dry dock, so I would try and see if you have really, really recent comments on it.
Yeah, because the Vista was in dry dock for about a month, so she got her new blue livery. They made a lot of changes inside. They updated the whole ship, so she's basically a brand new ship right now. So I do not know. Doug in Brooklyn, you can't wait to cruise again. You just finished 16 chemotherapy sessions. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, a tip of the hat and a cheers to you for that. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you're still here with us. Yes, I hope everything's going well. Thank you for sharing. That's amazing. I hope you do get back out on a cruise ship at some point. And, you know, if we can help you, oh my gosh, please do let us know. That would just be amazing. Wow. Thank you for sharing. That is amazing. Raquel, what is your most important advice on an Alaskan cruise? You're going on the Radiance of the Seas this June. Number one, I love that you're going on the Radiance because that is a small ship. That's the way to go to Alaska. Be on a smaller ship, not a bigger ship if you can. But number one, layers, because it can be like in the 40s in the morning and in the 70s in the afternoon. But if you're off the ship, you know, doing an excursion and you're wearing the clothes from 40 degrees and suddenly get to be 70, you're going to be hot. So you want to dress in layers and you want to have a backpack so you can take some of those layers off and put it into your backpack as the day goes on. Number two, a 3-in-1 jacket. I can't stress this enough, a 3-in-1 jacket. Because some people are like, well, I'm going to have a warm jacket. I got to have a windbreaker. I got to have this. If you get a 3-in-1 jacket, the one that we happen to have is from LL Bean, but you know, other companies make them. You have an inner liner, which could be fleece. It could be like a down type of an inner liner. And then you have an outer liner that's a rain slicker and a windbreaker. So when you wear just the down liner, it's a warm jacket. When you just wear the outer part, it's just a windbreaker. And then when you put them together, it's a really nice winter coat. So the nice thing is you've got one jacket, but you wear it 3 different ways. So that I highly recommend. Absolutely. And then if your extremities get cold at all, I only had to do it one day during our cruise, but I was really glad I had them. They have these little chemical packs that you can put in your gloves, that you can put in your shoes. You know, you kind of like smack them or whatever, and they get warm. Highly recommend those as well. If you're going to Juneau, Harv and Marv Whale Watching is amazing. They're an independent company. If you're going to Skagway, Temsco Helicopters does a beautiful helicopter flight out to a dog sled camp. Now that can get canceled a lot because if the clouds are low, they can't fly through the mountains to get up there. So they'll give you the option to go to a glacier, which is what we ended up doing. And then in Ketchikan, you've got pilot Michelle with Island Air Wings that does amazing float plane tours. So that is some of our advice. If anybody in your party, if anybody's watching this and anybody in your party has a digital camera with interchangeable lenses, I highly recommend a company called lensrentals.com where you can rent like some of these really long zoom lenses that are like thousands of dollars if you were going to buy it, but you can rent them for say 500 or less for the week. That's absolutely amazing. If you have a camera with interchangeable lenses and you really want to get some pictures of wildlife, but they're not going to be close to you. They're going to be far away for the most part.
And probably many of them, you're going to want them far away.
Yeah. So if you have a camera with interchangeable lenses, lensrentals.com is an amazing one. It's an amazing one. Mary Massey is saying now that the chemical hand warmers are not permitted by TSA and carry-on. It's been a while since we've done it. So if you're going to do those chemical warmers.
They probably were in our checked luggage anyway.
Just put them in your checked luggage. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. That is awesome. I love our community. Good morning. In reference to the Tiffany Banks Carnival cruise ordeal, I really... Okay, Rebecca knows this.
This is where a woman had the presidential something suite booked on a Carnival cruise, and somebody apparently canceled her cruise, and Carnival's refusing to give her any refund. They're saying that somebody logged in and canceled it. I think that this woman needs to keep demanding to find out who it was that logged in to do this.
Oh, I haven't even said,
But I can understand for now, I don't know that Carnival's going to budge, but I would insist that I find out who was the exact person who logged in, because they can find out that if they're willing to try.
Oh, they can absolutely. So here's how this could have happened. I'm not saying it did, but here's how it could have happened. And thank you, Rebecca. We've been so busy, I didn't even see that story. Thank you for bringing that up. But Samuel, so we don't work for, okay, I'm going to take that back. We're an independent contractor. Where's Walter Travel is our company. It's me and Rebecca. but we work under the KHM Travel Group, which is a host agency. Now, there are multiple host agencies out there, some really good, like KHM Travel Group is an amazing group of about 5,500 travel agents who are some of the best people I have ever met in the industry. Then there are host agencies that aren't so good, and people who don't necessarily know what they're doing, or maybe do know what they're doing, and they can do things to mess around with people. But when you're in a host agency, depending on the cruise line, you may have access to bookings that are not your own, because the way it actually works, like when I book a cruise for you, it's in the KHM Travel Group. It's under their name. There are some cruise lines where I now have what's called a separate phone line. So those cruises are only in my name. Nobody else can see them. But if you're in a general host agency, you can see all the bookings, like literally my bookings and all 5,000 other agents. I can see them all. And, somebody could have gone in, and accidentally cancel. There is a cancel button right there. Now it's a two-step process. You can't just hit cancel and whoop, the booking is canceled. You hit it, and then the cruise line is like, are you sure? You sure you mean to cancel this cruise? So you actually have to do it twice, not a one-time button. So that's one way it could have happened. It could have been somebody who was in a host agency. And trust me, Carnival will know, as far as I know, Carnival can tell who was the person that was logged in that click the button to cancel.
And it's unclear to me whether she used a travel agent or went directly through Carnival.
Correct. So we don't know that. So if they went through a travel agent, that's how it could have happened. And that travel agent who booked the cruise would have immediately gotten a cancellation notification from Carnival, because I've canceled cruises for clients with Carnival
at their request.
And we get yeah. In fact, I make you guys sign something. I actually make you guys sign something that says, I'm going to cancel the cruise and I might lose my money, so I make you guys sign something before I don't take a text. I don't take a call. It's like, you guys are going to sign something to say, you really wanted me to cancel this. And then we get a notification right away. So if she worked with a travel advisor, they would have gotten a notification right away that it was canceled. And then I would have immediately called Carnival and said, what the heck? Why
Apparently
is this canceled?
She found out about this, I guess, either on her way or something. But at any rate, she found out because she got a notification that her excursions had been canceled. And when she called to find out why the excursions had been canceled, they said, well, it's because the cruise was canceled. Gotcha. And since she was in a top level suite, every cruise line does the bidding process. I'm sure that cabin was gone. Now, I don't know if travel insurance would cover that or not.
So Mary Massey is saying that she accidentally posted her confirmation number on Facebook.
Oh,
don't ever do that, people. That confirmation number, treat that like your social security number. Don't share that confirmation with anybody, because if you share that confirmation number, anybody who has access to the booking engine could potentially get in there, or they can call Carnival pretending to be you and cancel it because they want it. So Becky is saying that somebody was able to go in and cancel the cruise, or Mary. Mary is saying that somebody was able to get the confirmation number because she posted it online. Never, ever, 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 ever post your confirmation number. Don't even post your cabin number online.
Maybe after you're back, but.
And Big Willie said that too. So basically, and then they're saying that the person used a fake Carnival login. So other than the IP address, not much to track who did it. She booked directly through Carnival. Thank you for that. So it wasn't a travel agent. Booked by herself and accidentally shared the confirmation number. Oh, that is big, people. That is your social security number. Do not share your booking number with anybody. Oh, now I feel bad. Now, Big Willie is saying that Carnival actually offered $10,000 in future cruise credit, but she refused. So I would have taken that.
Yeah.
For sure. That was probably about the price. I guess
the cabin was $12,000.
Yeah.
So it's probably about the price minus the deposit.
Thank you, Samuel, for bringing that up. I'm going to be honest. I had not seen that. I have been so deep into it this week with a lot of things going on.
I can understand why when she called the customer service people and they told her excursions were canceled because the cruise was canceled. Yeah. That there was nothing those customer service people were going to be able to do for her.
No. And, if it had been booked through a travel agent, a good one, at least I could have called, my reps there at Carnival and said, this is the situation. Can we do anything? Now, I don't know if they could have done anything, but I would have hoped that, beyond just that 10,000, we would have gotten her either onto another cruise or some sort of resolution. Wow, that is quite the story. I'm gonna have to go read up on that. Thank you for that, Samuel. I appreciate that. Enron, what do our clients think of Harmony of the Seas? Harmony of the Seas is a great ship. She is beautiful. We've had a bunch of clients sail on her out of Galveston. I think she's been in port. I think she swapped out with the Allure for a little while. I think she's going back to Galveston. I get confused as to which one is which. But yeah, no, the Oasis class in general, just fabulous ships. And then the later ships have more and better features. I don't want to say better features, but they have more features on them. So yeah, Harmony's a great ship. Not much to say about it other than she's a great ship, lots to do, great shows up in the front. Of course, the Harmony is the one who just lost her captain. That was a sad story. The captain had a heart attack actually while on board. They had to medevac him out and he did not make it. So that was a very sad story. Yeah, so Harmony is great. Harmony is great, is a great ship. So yeah, I'm still thinking in my head about what happened.
The only thing I can think about with the Harmony is the adults only solarium just has hot tubs. It does not have a pool.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the other solariums is a very, 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 very small pool, but they have a pool. Harmony, for some reason, is the one that has just hot tubs.
Yeah, they didn't put the pool. It's a very small pool anyway. Rick found the Cunard dress photo examples. Had to do a lot of digging in the website, leaving Thursday on the QM2. So yeah, Cunard, I thought they'd gotten rid of it altogether. Cunard was the only cruise line that I knew of that actually didn't have just a dress code. They actually had photos, how they recommend that you dress. I love that. Oh, I want to find that myself. That is awesome. Destiny, have we been on the Epic? We've not been on the Epic yet. We've been talking about it because she does come into Port Canaveral. She does home port out of Port Canaveral. The Epic is a very interesting cruise ship because she is literally a one-off. I'm actually surprised Norwegian still has the ship. But the biggest claim to fame are those split bathrooms that have the frosted glass, so you can kind of see through them. Just, I guess it's fine if you're a couple, but if you're traveling as two individual people, that can be a little bit awkward.
Or, a parent and a child, maybe might not.
Now they do have a curtain where you can close that off, but if you're walking in from the outside, you're on the inside. So yeah, it is a little bit of an interesting animal. People have a love-hate relationship with the Norwegian Epic. So just make sure you understand the bathroom situation before you book on that ship. But overall, the ship is lovely. PC, the best cruise line for the value. Well, if you're just simply talking price, that's MSC. MSC is among the lowest cost cruise lines out there. However, the service is going to be very hit or miss, even on the same ship. We've had very up and down service on the seaside and the seashore. We had a good time on both cruises, but the service that you get, the quality of the food that you get is very inconsistent. On a lot of the other cruise ships, you go on Royal Caribbean, you go on Norwegian, Holland Princess, you kind of know what to expect. And you know that not everything's going to be great, but you kind of know what to expect. Whereas with MSC, you really have no idea what to expect. It can be an amazing week, the best main dining room ever. I come on next week and it's the worst main dining room ever. It's just very inconsistent. So just for price, beyond that, what you consider value is not what somebody else considers value. So there is a cruise line for everybody. It also depends on what do you want on the ship, what kind of an itinerary do you want, and where are you going to sail out of and what time of year, because that all comes into play because there's only a finite number of ships that are sailing, say, out of Florida at any certain time of year, finite number of ships sailing out of New York, LA, Seattle, so or Europe, Barcelona, Athens, Vienna, and I say Vienna.
Not Vienna, Venice.
Venice. Vienna, Venice. They're the same, right? They're in the same place.
Vienna's a river cruise stop, not an ocean cruise stop.
Vienna, they're all the same. Vienna, Venice. Yeah. So what? Like one of my clients considers Regent Seven Seas value. That's really all they want to go on because they know exactly what they're getting. They know they're going to spend more, but they love what they get. We have other clients. I just want to go on Carnival. I just want to go on MSC. Just want to go on this. So value is relative to what you're trying to do. And sometimes, say a Caribbean cruise, the value might be $1,000, whereas when you're going over to Europe, maybe the value is $5,000 because of what you're getting with the cruise. So that all depends. I mean, Virgin Voyages, I think, is still, even though the prices are sneaking up, it's still a great value because, you know, the gratuities, the Wi-Fi, all of your meals and soft drinks are all included in the cruise fare. So the value is relative. You know, NCL has good value as well.
There are definitely a lot of comments on this Carnival cancellation thing.
I bet. Yeah. I'm so sorry because I was talking for a while there. So yeah, you're welcome. You're excited.
Yeah, it's
Deb
definitely.
is excited for the Utopia. Yes. Okay. And then we get in. Oh yeah. So yeah, there are a lot of comments, Sean.
If you can get
Maybe
down to
somebody
Chris Romano, that's probably the first.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I'm sorry. Get down to where?
Chris Romano.
Chris Romano. There you are, Chris. Is it a royal? Okay. So yeah, guys, I see all of your comments about this woman. You know, again, I'm just going to say it one more time. When you've got a booking number, do not share that booking number.
And apparently she also shared her VIFP number. That was on the thing she posted.
That's another thing you don't share, people.
Do not share your loyalty
number. She probably took a screenshot or something.
That's what it sounds like.
And she didn't block out that stuff. You know, when I have your VIFP number, now I can call Royal Caribbean. Now I can log in.
Well, Carnival.
You know, God, yeah, you basically gave away the keys to the kingdom. So, and I know somebody said, you know, I think calling, you know, Carnival getting vilified for somebody's stupidity, I think it's a little bit harsh. She was obviously excited about the cruise, didn't think about what she was posting. So I don't want to say it's her stupidity. It's just she didn't think about it, right?
It's definitely a learning moment.
Yeah, it's a learning moment. It's just something I'm really excited about the trip. I'm going to post this. This is so cool. Not really thinking about there was information on there that somebody could use. So I want to say this was an honest mistake by her. But the sad thing is, again, had she worked with a travel agent and not Carnival, that travel agent would have been notified right away. We would have gotten the cancellation notice, and right away I would have been calling Carnival going, who canceled the cruise? I didn't cancel the cruise. And then they would say, well, she did. Next, I'm going to call Tiffany and go, did you cancel the cruise? She would say no. Now I escalate that up the ladder and start calling. So, you know, I know I am a travel advisor, and y'all are like, oh, you're trying to sell your own services. But no, I mean, this is one of the things that we do. We would have gotten that notification right away when it was canceled, that the cruise was canceled. And maybe I'm not saying we could have done anything, but had we gotten it that day when it happened, yes, we might have been able to do something about it and get that cabin reinstated back to her. Because there is a reinstate button too, by the way. Next to the cancel button, there is a reinstate cruise button. So at the very least, I could have jumped right into the booking and tried to hit the reinstate to get it back online. So there is that. So Alex is saying that on MSC, he could tell the difference between the buffet, MDR, and specialty dining. You'd recommend getting the dining package. On MSC, the dining package is amazing. It is absolutely amazing for the most part.
You never actually answered, Chris.
No, I'm coming back.
Okay.
I'm coming back. Yeah. Chris, is it Royal Caribbean policy to charge a fee to change names on your cabin? Yes, $100 per person to change the names.
And you have to keep at least one person from the original booking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're going to change the names on the book. Now, if it's just a correction,
yes,
that's fine. But different. If you're going to go from Rebecca to Walter, that's a $100 fee. It might be $125 in some cases, but it's a $100 fee to change the name. I don't know why it's a $100 fee. It is. It's also a $100 fee per person when you change the sailing. And I encourage a lot of people to think about that too. Like if they're going to cancel a Royal Caribbean sailing and maybe they're going to lose their deposit, change it instead. Just pick another cruise and do that. But that is normal. And
there will be a cutoff, usually about 48 hours, when no changes can be made any longer.
Yeah. User 987, why didn't Carnival just refund the lady her money? So they have their policies. So according to somebody on YouTube, they said that Carnival did offer her $10,000 in future cruise credit, but they have their policies of cancellation. It's all right in there. It's right in your cruise contract. It's in the confirmation that comes to you. This is what's going to happen. So, yeah.
And it's not like there haven't been instances, and definitely not the case here, but there have been instances where people use stolen credit cards, book a cruise, cancel, and try and get the money back.
Yeah. Absolutely. Aaron is saying, if I had to guess, do I think Virgin will offer a taste of Alaska in some of their dining venues when they sail there? I would say absolutely. Most of the cruise lines do. They usually do Alaskan themed menus when you're up in Alaska, and I would fully expect Virgin to do that. Virgin has been asking us some really interesting questions behind the scenes. I'm not going to talk about it. I mean, we weren't told not to talk about it, but it'll be more fun when Virgin reveals. But I do love that Virgin Voyages, John DiOrio in particular, who is the vice president of Virgin Voyages, super nice guy. Even when I'm rather curt to him because something's going wrong. But John DiOrio is vice president of Virgin Voyages here in North America. He has been sending a lot of interesting questions to us, the first mates, about the Alaska sailings. And it's really neat that they're getting input from us on various things about these cruises. So it's clear they're still tweaking them. They are still tweaking them, and that's why you don't have the information yet. But I'm really excited to see what they're going to announce. I like the direction they're going. There is, by the way, if you're interested, there is YouTube video out there now of the brilliant lady sitting just off the shore. I can't remember where she is, but this guy flew a drone around the brilliant lady, so you can actually see her. She looks great. The thing that I missed, and I didn't even think about this when they did it, the little side patios that are on deck 7, they're gone because they had to pull them in, obviously, to go through the canal. But I didn't even think about the fact that those were going to be missing. So, yes, I would say it. Bobby is saying that Margaritaville failed the CDC. Yeah, but you know what?
Well, that was the Paradise.
It was the Paradise, which is the small ship. And she got like an 82 or an 83.
Which I think it was 85 is considered.
Yeah. So it was an 82 or an 83. And most of it had to do with the fact that she was an old ship. And we went on the MSCC shore like a month after she got, like a 62 or whatever it was. So 80 something, I'm not even concerned about. Not even concerned about it. Mental health worker, are the adults only area 18 or 21 plus?
Depends on the cruise line.
Depends on the cruise line. Usually 18. I know for a fact that on Carnival, they're 21 in their Serenity or.
Yeah, Carnival's 21. There are a few that are still 16 and up.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on the cruise line. What their Royal used to be 16 and up. They just changed. I'm not sure if they changed on Celebrity as well, because I know that was 16 plus for a while. So it kind of depends.
You're going on to Frenzy in 2 weeks. Any tips? There is a lot of YouTube video that's been coming out of late on the Frenzy. Like I know my buddies over at This Cruise Life, they were on the ship for like 14 days or something like that. It was crazy. Mark and Rocky were just on the ship. They shared a lot. Just know that I call it an adult Carnival ship, the Frenzy and the Venezia, which the Venezia is coming to Port Canaveral soon. So I really want to run over there and get on her and go check it out. But it's an Italian ship, right? It was a Costa ship. She was done very much in an Italian way. So the lobby is different. A lot of the ship is different. And I know some Carnival faithful don't like it, but I love the fact that it's different. I mean, it's totally, these ships are totally different from the rest of the fleet. To me, they kind of look like a grown-up Carnival ship. So if you've been on Carnival before, you're going to recognize a lot of things, but a lot of things are going to be rather different. I definitely get ready to enjoy it. But for specific things on it, This Cruise Life, go check them out. They're really good guys. Rocky's also a travel advisor, really good guy, but they have posted a lot from that ship. So yeah. Thoughts on Carnival in general? I think they're a really fun cruise line. Nobody beats the Fun Squad. Of all the cruise directors, the Sky Princess came the closest. Sky Princess had an amazing cruise director staff when we were on here. Norwegian has a great cruise director staff, but nobody beats the Fun Squad on Carnival. They truly are fun. They laugh at themselves. They do a lot of games, a lot of activities with the guests.
You can win a ship on a stick.
You can win a ship on a stick, So yeah, the ship on a stick is the most popular and most fought after trophy. It's just this stupid little plastic trophy with a ship on the top, but everybody wants to win it. I think they're a lot of fun. The food is very mainstream. They do have some very high-end restaurants, like Rudy's Sea Grill on the Excel class is amazing. The Excel class ships, they've really kind of started to step up. The look and feel of the ship. The Vista class, they've definitely stepped up. So I think Carnival is a fabulous cruise line. When you go on the shorter cruises, when you see some of these things that happen on cruise ship, It's usually the 3-day, 3-night cruises because those are party cruises. That's a Las Vegas weekend. I'm on the ship for 3 nights. I've got a drink package. I'm going to get as much as I can get out of it. I've got a whole subset of people, and that's Carnival, that's Royal Caribbean, even Celebrity. Anybody who does a 3-night cruise, you're going to have that subset of a crowd on there. When you go for 7 nights or longer, there's going to be a smaller subset of those people on there, but you generally don't have issues on the longer cruises because people pace themselves. But Carnival's a great cruise line. What would we rate the Norwegian Encore? I mean, we've been on the Escape and the Getaway. I would rate that class of ship, but a good solid 9, 8.5, a 9. I mean, it's great. They're great ships. The Breakaway class is fabulous. The Encore has the go-karts, which we haven't done yet. I really want to try that. Yes. Alex is wondering, are there, oh, hey, thanks for that. Real quick, Aaron Ross, my good friend Tony, I forgot about Tony at La Lita Loca, Cruising Tony, who we're going to see in June. He just did a whole tour of the Firenze. You're right, I forgot about that. I haven't seen it yet. But go check out Tony, La Lita Loca, Cruising. We're going to go have lunch with him June 13th. Yeah, can't wait to see him. He's a super nice guy. Jenny, his wife, is another great travel advisor. Eric asking about the Norwegian Aqua inaugural is a year out. Has the build started yet? Eric, it takes 4 years to build these ships. Well, 3 years to build these ships. So yeah.
Actually, it just did sea trials, didn't it?
No, she was just floated out.
Floated out. That's right.
She was just floated out. So she's been in the dry dock until I think last week. So she was just floated out. So now she started a lot of the interior work to get her ready, and hopefully they get it all done on time so we can get on her. For sure. Alex wants to know if I have any intel on the Scarlet Lady with the dry dock. No, not yet. We hear rumors that the Scarlet Lady is going to add an interior Rockstar lounge. That's the rumor. We haven't seen it. They have a space obvious place to turn into that. So yeah. But we don't know for sure. We don't know for sure. Norma's also saying that the walkthrough from Tony is great. Holly, Wonder of the Seas first timer. Oh, Wonder of the Seas is going to be amazing. Do not miss the show, The Effectors. We hear it is amazing. Our friend Stephanie just went bonkers over those shows. She highly recommends that. If you are looking for a good tour of the Wonder of the Seas and what's going on, check out the Sean and Stef channel. I'm pretty sure I have a link to her on TikTok. If you click my logo, you go into the link tree. I'm pretty sure I have a Sean and Stef. Go into her YouTube channel. I'm all but certain she's got a Wonder of the Seas ship tour and some other things about it. Really, really good. So, Tiffany, if she had a TA, no one can cancel except the TA. I want to say yes. Some cruise lines do actually allow the guests to call in, which I don't like. But yeah, I think you're right. Cheryl, Allure canceled the Haiti port in July. Yep, Labadee is still closed. You're going to Coco Cay twice. Oh, that's interesting. That'd be kind of cool, actually, because you could go one time and just hang out, and then another time, like if you wanted to go ahead and pay for the Cocoa Beach Club or Hideaway Beach, you could do that. So that's actually kind of neat. I think that would be actually kind of cool to get to go to Coco Cay twice. I'm kind of surprised they're doing that. There must not have been another port available because they've been going like Grand Turk or Nassau or some of these other places. But, if it's so it's July, actually July, there should be some room, but yeah, that should actually be kind of fun. Misspoke. You were on the Firenze last week. It was nice. Awesome. Holly, you're cruising Royal Caribbean on the, cruising, missing an E on the end of the first name, submit correction.
You got to keep on them. Don't.
Yeah.
If you used a travel agent, they should take care of this for you. But if you book directly through Royal, just keep calling.
Not to be mean.
Call until they get that corrected, because that is potential to be a serious problem.
Yeah, they will probably let you on the ship, but that's a probably, not a guarantee that you're going to get on the ship. You need to. So me as a travel advisor, I will say we have a different set of people that we talk to than the general public. And then at worst comes to worst, Royal Caribbean. Oh God, that's Kathy. Oh, Kathy would get that taken care of in like 10 minutes. So that's another, advantage of working with a travel advisor is we would have gotten that taken care of. And that does need to be taken care of. It's one of those things that they will probably let us slide, but you really don't want to
You
take
get
that
the wrong
chance.
port agent and
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be one of those things that's going to delay you for sure. We're going to be like, oh, well, now we're going to have to send you over here, and then you're going to talk to these people. So it's definitely going to delay your time in the terminal. So stay on them. Stay on Royal Caribbean and make them fix that, because that
And
has
if
to be fixed.
if you keep calling and they don't fix it, ask to talk to a supervisor. Keep moving it up
Yes.
the ladder.
I definitely have to speak to a supervisor. But in the future, try using a travel advisor. Whether it's myself or one of my many colleagues.
And you can also just go to your online account and just check. Maybe it quietly got corrected and they just didn't notify you. So
Yes.
check your online account and see if your name is spelled correctly there.
Yeah, I just had something with one of my clients named Darren, and he spelled it with one R, and for some reason Virgin Voyage just changed it to two R's. I'm like, wait, what just happened? And I was able to go in and change it myself. So I was able just to drop in and change it. So definitely try to get that fixed. And the next time you call, if they don't fix it, step up to a supervisor and ask them to fix it. Charlene, so you're going to be at the beginning and end going to Coco Cay. That is awesome. So yeah. If it was done by a TA, definitely the TA wants to call it in. I mean, folks, obviously we're travel advisors, so we want you to use a travel advisor because we know that we take the stress off a lot of our clients. We make their lives easier. But we've been cruising almost 20 years. We use a travel advisor for every one of our cruises, So it's not just us saying it because we are, it's because we've done it. We've used travel advisor. Gary Bembridge has been on well over 100 cruises. Still uses Susan for every single one of his cruises to book because he doesn't want to have to take care of all the stuff on the back end. She takes care of everything. She reminds him when payments are due. She takes care of all of this other stuff. So, Chris, you missed your answer. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I miss something, Chris? Rebecca's going back right now. Take a look because we got into a long discussion about things. So Rebecca's looking right now. Sorry.
I'm not seeing
Chris, can you
anything.
ask again? So sorry. It may have been way back before that whole long discussion about the poor woman on Carnival. I do feel bad for that. Again, if she had used a travel advisor, we would have been notified right away. The Margaritaville cruise. Yes, we are going on the Margaritaville cruise. We are going June 11th through the 13th. We're invited guests of Margaritaville. That's going to be the friends and family sailing. Yes, we will be live. Yes, we will be bringing you content. Can't wait to introduce you to some of our friends over at Margaritaville. They're so amazing. And then as of right now, we're getting off the ship on the 13th, and then we're going right back on the 14th for the actual inaugural sailing. It's only a 4-night going to Cozumel, but we'll be on the ship for 6 nights overall. So that'll be fabulous. That'll give us a great look at it. And on the 13th, we've already made plans with Tony from La Lita Loca. We're going to grab breakfast, lunch, or something. And I really hope Jenny comes because we haven't met Jenny. Jenny is also an amazing travel advisor. Worked with them. And so we're excited. Margaritaville, this is a brand new company. If you've seen the reviews and you've seen all the bad negativity on the Paradise, especially in the past, this is now a new company. They are talking about buying more ships. My feeling is that once they get their next ship online, I would not be surprised to see the Paradise go away. So Margaritaville now, I think this is going to be a great group cruise line. So they're sailing out of Tampa. They're doing 4 and 5 nights right now. They're going to add 6 and 7 nights in 2025. I think it's going to be a great cruise line. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Based on what we've seen on the ship looks gorgeous. It really does. It looks like they've done a great job with the ship. I'm really looking forward to meeting her, and I'm really looking forward to introducing you guys to the Margaritaville team. They're all going to be on that friend and family sailing, so I can't wait to introduce all of you guys to that team. So, Pretty TK, what is the Metro Mover in Miami? Your hotel is within walking distance to it. It's kind of like the People Mover, a big version of the People Mover at Disney World. It's a free hop-on. It's like a hop-on, hop-off trolley, really, but it's on a track. It's above ground, so it doesn't have to deal with traffic, and it just moves you around. It has set stops, and it takes you to
limited area, but
yeah, it's a very limited area, but it kind of takes you to the popular places, and you don't have to walk the streets. Not having to walk the streets in Miami is a good thing. It can be a rather dangerous place to walk in Miami because a lot of people like trying to beat lights or turns, and So yeah, so if the Metro Mover is within walking distance of your hotel in Miami, hey, use it. And it's going someplace you want to go, just use it. Get you close. Yeah, it's a great product, and it's free. Why turn down free, especially in Miami? It'd be amazing. So. Yeah. Okay, folks, we've been going for a while. You know, the one thing I did not mention during this entire show is that on Thursday night, we have a great guest coming on here. We're going to be on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. It's going to be Paul Thornton, who is the author of The Joy of Cruising and also the host of a podcast by the same name, The Joy of Cruising. So if you're going to be around Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, come join us on YouTube. We'll be on Facebook. We'll be on LinkedIn again. And talking the joy of cruising. I think it's really cool. So Paul is one of these people who really didn't think he was going to like cruising, fell in love with it. He's written 3 books on cruising now, and he's had a lot of amazing guests and so many stories. So we're going to be sharing some of his favorite stories. He just got off the Scarlet Lady, his very first Virgin cruise. So certainly we're going to be talking Virgin Voyages on there. But that will be strictly, we're not on TikTok for that one. We're only going to be over on our YouTube, and it'll also be streamed on our public Facebook page and my LinkedIn profile as well. So if you want to join us this Thursday night, I'm really excited. Paul had me on his show, and I'm very honored to be asked to be on The Joy of Cruising. We had a great conversation, and his podcast is lovely. If you just want to hear some perspectives, what's really neat about The Joy of Cruising is that it's all cruise line. There's some amazing podcasts out there that are dedicated, like my friends at DCL Duo. If you want to know anything about Disney Cruise Line, DCL Duo, they got you covered. And they're starting to talk about some other cruise lines, but what's really nice about Paul, he talked about all the cruise lines out there. So if you're going to be around on Thursday, certainly come join us. So folks, I want to thank you all for joining us on a Sunday morning. We're here every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Yes, Where's Walter Travel on YouTube. That's who we are. There is a link. You're watching us on TikTok. Just simply click that logo. It'll take you down to the link to get over to our YouTube channel as well. Real quick, Aaron's asking, you're going to St. Thomas on a carnival celebration. Do I think you would have time to do an excursion to Trunk Bay and the Overlook? I do not know. I do not know offhand, Aaron. If there is a ship-based excursion, then yeah, you'll certainly have a chance to go do that. But I don't know offhand. I'd have to go take a look at the distance and all that good stuff. So
and the length of time in port.
And the length of time in port and all of that. And also what time you're coming into port too. Because some of these ships come in like, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Some of them come in 7 a.m. to noon. So, it just depends on what time you're coming in.
Yeah. And a lot of things aren't open at 7 a.m.
Yeah. And Norma recommends The Joy of Cruising podcast. It is a really, really good podcast. So folks, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, thank you so much for joining us today. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday. We'll see you Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then we'll see you right back here next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Have a great Sunday.